City's big international business, and today Everton Football Club has dramatically fallen foul of the strict financial rules which regulate the Premier League. The club has received a 10-point deduction. That is the biggest sanction in the Premier League's history, and it means it drops from 14th to 19th in the table. It's now in the relegation zone. It happened after an independent commission found it breached the rules governing how much clubs are allowed to overspend by. Everton said it was shocked and disappointed and that it intends to appeal against the ruling. It raises questions for other major clubs such as Manchester City, who are currently being investigated for breaching financial rules. Our sports editor Dan Rowan reports.
It's Everton who win. Everton have been on a decent run of form in recent weeks, but today any sense of optimism around Goodison Park evaporated. The club stunned after being docked 10 points by the Premier League for breaking financial rules in an unprecedented punishment. In a statement, an independent commission said Everton's understandable desire to improve its on-pitch performance led it to take chances. The position Everton finds itself in is of its own making. The excess over the threshold is significant. The consequence is that Everton's culpability is great. The Premier League had wanted Everton docked 12 points after claiming that under owner Farhad Moshiri it had far exceeded its spending limits, which permit losses of £105 million over 3 years. Everton said costs associated with their new stadium and the impact of the pandemic should be factored in, but the Commission ruled its losses were £19 million more than allowed.
We believe the sanction is disproportionate and wholly unjust. The club's view is that the harshness and severity of this punishment are neither a fair nor a reasonable reflection of the evidence that was submitted to the Commission. For that reason, the club intends to appeal the outcome.
Today's 10-point deduction comes into effect immediately, plunging Everton from 14th to 19th in the table and into the relegation zone.
They've jumped through the hoops asked of them. They've gone for the last few seasons with a salary cap in place that's already having hands tied behind your back with regards to sport and integrity, and yet found this huge points deduction come on the top of that. So it's the feelings are a bit raw at the moment.
Having narrowly avoided the drop in recent seasons, Everton's fans have been increasingly unhappy with how the club's been run and now face the prospect of another relegation battle.
Officials here at Goodison today said they were shocked by the severity of the punishment, and they'll no doubt be concerned over the potential for clubs relegated in recent seasons taking legal action and uncertainty over what this may all mean for a prospective takeover by American investors. But Everton are not the only Premier League club whose finances are under scrutiny.
This year, champions Manchester City were charged with more than 100 breaches of the Premier League's rules, denying wrongdoing. Chelsea are under investigation by the league for alleged secret payments linked to former owner Roman Abramovich. The wait for a resolution to those cases drags on. Everton, however, now know their fate.
Well, Everton's fans, no doubt, tonight will perhaps feel that they've been made something of an easy target, scapegoated perhaps. Having said that, the supporters of other clubs that have stuck by these rules, especially those that have been relegated in recent seasons, will no doubt say they're there for a reason, and with an independent football regulator on the horizon, it was time for the Premier League to bare its teeth and show that it was serious. What's certain is that fans of the likes of Manchester City and Chelsea in particular will be concerned, given the punishment, given the scale of what Everton are facing, that if they're found guilty, they may face an even heftier points deduction and perhaps even relegation from the Premier League. That's all to play out. I think the fear is that a league table that's meant to be based on the performances of world-class players could be dictated by the workings of accountants and lawyers. They say the league table doesn't lie, but perhaps that's no longer the case now that financial fair play is clearly so important.
Thank you. Dan Rowan reporting there.